my favorite. Nah, nah, no one else could make it. You walked in with your hair a mess, didn't care, still looked your best. Borrowed hoodie, untied shoes, how'd I fall this fast for you? You don't brag, you don't boast, still the one I like the most. Every time you smile that way, feels like I'm on holiday. Don't need a punchline or a cue, somehow I just laugh with you. You're my favorite, can't you tell? Like a song I hum myself. You don't act like you're a star, but to me that's what you are. You're not trying to impress, still you leave my heart a mess. You're my favorite and it shows, even when nobody knows. You say things in half a phrase, still I keep them for my days. Late night snacks and silly games, even those I'd frame your name. You don't text with fancy lines, still I read between each sign. You don't chase, but I stay close, 'cause you're the part I love the most. Every flaw, each quiet stare, feels like something we could share. You're my favorite, that's the truth, like my old worn tennis shoes. Not too flashy, not too loud, still you stand out in the crowd. You don't ask for hearts to break, but you're the one I always take. You're my favorite, always new, even when there's nothing new.
Rồi, đây là Đi Thăm Bảo tàng.
You're the part of every day I replay in a lovely way. You don't sparkle, you don't shine, but I still want you as mine. You're my favorite, that's for real, even more than I can feel. You don't plan it, don't rehearse, but you turn life to a verse. You're not perfect, that's okay, that's what makes me wanna stay. You're my favorite, start to end, more than crush, more than friend. You're my favorite. Na 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 na, and you don't even know it.
Wow. So, Hansel, what is it actually?
This is a museum where we
Museum.
can learn about Thomas Edison and Thomas and Edison Ford. So we're learning about their contribution to this amazing country.
So Thomas Edison
Yeah,
contribution
you-
to the country.
Yeah, you can go there.
It's 24, right?
Henry Ford and Edison. Yeah.
No, but this statue.
That's Ford. Yeah.
24.
So, Milton, what do you know about him?
Huh?
What do you know about him?
24
Hmm?
is the inventor of the assembly line, the one of the most powerful inventors in the history of humanity. The third technology revolution is from this man.
Thomas Edison.
Really important.
Good.
Well done. Yeah, you man. You follow.
On the Ford property towards the end of the tour, there is one as well. And with G, and he'd start messing with transmitters, receivers, that sort of thing. These are really kind of his early inventive endeavors. He would move to New York City in his early 20s, work at a number of different companies trying to improve the telegraph technology. That's where he gets his first patents, really becomes the inventor that we know today. And he would actually end up having a total of 1,093 U.S. patents in his life. He's also the only person to have received at least one patent per year for over 65 consecutive years. So extremely busy man. Now as for his personal life, Edison was married twice. His first marriage was in 1871 to a young woman named Mary Stilwell. They were together for a total of about 13 years. They had 3 children together. That was their daughter Marion, their son Thomas Jr., and their son, blanking on the name here. William, that was it, sorry. I get the first children and the second group of children mixed up. So anyways, William, and then so he had 3 children with Mary. Unfortunately, she passed in 1884 at the age of just 29 years old from an illness with her brain. We don't know exactly what the cause was. Doctors at the time, they labeled the cause of death as congestion of the brain. It's kind of an umbrella term. We don't really use it anymore. Could have referred to any number of things. But Edison remarried 2 years later. He then married a Miss Mina Miller. And Mina was actually the daughter of an inventor. Her father was Lewis Miller of Akron, Ohio. They would also have 3 children together. And so that was their daughter Madeline, their son Charles, and their son Theodore. So total of 6 Edison children. And Thomas Edison, his main estate would end up being in West Orange, New Jersey. It's where he lived most year-round. He bought the estate here in Fort Myers back in 1885, basically as a getaway from the cold winters up north. And he and Mina, a couple of the children, they'd come down every year around January or February, stay 2 to 3 months, and then once that's over, head back to their estate in New Jersey. As for Henry Ford, bought his estate next door in 1916 when it went up for sale. Basically saw it as a good opportunity to spend more time with Thomas Edison, who was not only one of his best friends, but kind of his mentor as well in the business industry and that sort of thing. So I'll elaborate more on their first visits and things here in just a moment. But while we're here for our kind of first stop, I would like to mention the banyan tree. This was planted here back in 1927, and it was actually planted as a part of Edison's research. When it's first planted, it started out as a 4-foot tall sapling. It's maybe 2.5 inches in diameter, and now, 98 years later, it's a little over an acre in size. It's one of the largest banyan trees in the continental United States. There is a larger one that's in Hawaii, and then the largest banyan tree in the world is near Calcutta, India. That's a 4.6 acre tree, last I read. So they can get quite large. The reason being because of the aerial roots here that come down from the branches, root system, and over time they thicken outwards. They'll become additional, sometimes nicknamed the walking tree. Edison planted this for its latex, which is the main ingredient in natural rubber. He was actually in the early 20s looking for a source of rubber that could be grown domestically in the United States.
Sao bóng dáng của một người đàn ông luôn có đó. Sao lưng người đàn ông luôn có bóng dáng của người phụ nữ có thể là luôn luôn là như vậy.
Now, while we're waiting for the crosswalk right here, I would like to mention this is McGregor Boulevard. Obviously, it's a pretty busy road today. When Edison first came to the area in 1885, this road was here, but it was just a dirt cattle trail called Riverside Drive. At that point in time, Fort Myers was a cattle settlement, had a population of about maybe 350 people. It was mostly cowboys and cattle ranchers. That's the main industry in town at that point in time. It wouldn't ultimately be paved until about 1912. It was paid for by a Mrs. Tootie McGregor, and her late husband was Ambrose McGregor, who was the president and CEO of Standard Oil.
A woman holding you, not a man. Don't worry. You get red.
Yes, you too. But you get.
So, this is the main side of the property. This is where the heads are. That's where most of the structures are, except for the museum and lab, which you'll see after the tour. And it's also where most of the gardens are, although we do have a decent bit on the other side of the street as well. Now, Edison's first visit was in 1885. Actually came to Fort Myers kind of by chance. He wasn't necessarily planning to come to this area directly. In early 1885, he was in a period of pretty bad health. He had a lot of respiratory issues, and he went to his doctor, who recommended 2 things for him to get better. One was that he basically take a vacation or a little break from work. Edison was very much kind of addicted to his work. He'd spend sometimes up to 18 hours a day straight in the laboratory. He also owned a number of very wealthy businesses at this point in time. He was already a pretty famous inventor, and not getting very much sleep, under a lot of stress. So the doctors recommended that he take a break from work, de-stress and relax. They also recommended that he head somewhere with a nice warm climate. They felt that the warm weather would be beneficial for his lungs to recover. So he took his best friend at the time, a Mr. Ezra Gilliland, kind of like his right-hand man in a number of his companies. They headed south to St. Augustine, Florida, planned to stay there a couple of weeks. Only when they got there, just so happened to be the coldest year in recorded history for St. Augustine, with below freezing temperatures, frost on the grass, and really just wasn't what he came down for. So he decided to head further south in the state, look for warmer weather, ended up traveling around, sleeping in hotels every night, and, as it happens, stopped in a hotel in Punta Rasa, which is about 15 miles or so towards the Gulf Coast from here. While he's there, chatting with the hotel owner tells Edison about a quaint little cattle village called Fort Myers. Thought he might be interested in seeing it. So, the next morning, he got on a boat in the Caloosahatchee River, just down here, travels up the river to Fort Myers. When he gets here, it's just that small cattle settlement, 350 people, mostly cowboys, cattle ranchers. Really isn't that much here. But Edison liked the area. He thought that it was very remote, could do lots of work undisturbed, but also he felt the weather was quite nice, make a nice getaway from the winters in New Jersey. So he bought this property. This was for sale. It was a total of 13.5 acres, about 6 of which here along the river, the rest all being across McGregor Boulevard. And he paid about $2,750. It's equivalent to about $90,000 today. What Edison didn't realize, he overpaid by quite a bit. Earlier in the decade, it was actually bought by a Mr. Samuel Summerlin, local cattle rancher. He paid about $150, more like $3,000 today. Nonetheless, he then bought 2 prefabricated homes. They were actually cut and assembled in Maine and then shipped down on 6 boatloads and then built here as his main home, which is the one closest to us, and then next door to that, a mirror image guest home, which was for his friend, Mr. Ezra Gilliland. And actually in 1887, Mr. Gilliland bought the guest home with plans to come down winter here each year, just like Edison. That didn't end up working.
Ăn nhà cớn mà có ở bên Việt Nam cả này. Bao tần. Không ăn được. Nhỏ xíu. Hey, the trees here are the same in Vietnam. Every, not only it. The flowers, mangoes. Yeah, in the same line. That one is also. That is the same my country.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Still waiting on a couple.
Hello, my dear.
Little bit.
Study. It's basically Edison's little office space on the property. Now this was built here in 1928. Before 1928 though, there used to be another laboratory that was on this location. The laboratory was a little bit wider than the study. It was also a decent bit taller, and it extended back quite a ways, a good 30 or 40 feet into the garden that's back there today. The reason that's no longer here is, in short, because of Mr. Henry Ford. So in the mid-1920s, Edison is largely out of his electrical companies, not really involved in the industry, and as a result, his laboratory set up for electrical research, just kind of sitting, collecting dust.
Giống cơn gói mấy bạn.
The machinery, and actually Mrs. Edison was using it to store old furniture, things like that. And so Edison's son, he has plans to build a new lab across the street. That would be his rubber lab in 1928. Henry Ford came down to visit in 1927, and he took notice, and he asked Edison if he could have the laboratory. He had plans to ship it up to Greenfield Village in Dearborn, Michigan, which was his own historic site. He was putting that together with a bunch of structures from around the country that had historic value, including the Wright Brothers Workshop, among other things. So he thought Edison's lab would fit right in. Thomas Edison thought this was a good idea, gave Ford permission, shipped it up, put it on display. It's still in Greenfield Village to this day.
Tropical.
Every time you come, it's different. It's different. Different plants.
Flower at different
flowers.
times, yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
I come every month. Every month. I live just down. I ride my bicycle. Yeah.
Thomas Edison's garden.
It is called Moonlight Garden. Bông tráng.
Once the sun sets, it's a very strong kind of flowery smell, and if you get a nice breeze, that will go over to the homes. You can actually smell it.
Đây là nơi nghiên cứu làm việc của Thomas Edison trong nhỏ ở cái khu vực Mỹ. Đây chỉ là nơi ông ta nghỉ dưỡng thôi mọi người nha. Nhưng mà đến đây vẫn có một cái phòng làm việc. Còn nơi làm việc chính thì cũng lại là người nghe đấy đấy. Nơi khác mà sau rồi bị nhọt, bị stress, bị các kiểu đấy này. Bác sĩ mới bảo đến đấy.
Edison at his estate here. And then the other car that they had was a 1908 Cadillac, which is kind of similar to the one that we have in the museum today. At any rate, we ended up changing the structure. So today, this is used as a kind of caretaker's exhibit. So we have a number of displays, different things throughout the years. Right now, it's a display of artwork of the estate throughout history. So if that interests you after the tour, I don't know how much time you'll have, but that is available as well, and you can head inside and see that. But as I said, we're going to continue to the pool just down here.
Oh, sorry. Wow.
Okay, so the pool was added in 1910. We believe it was more than likely made using Edison's own Portland cement formula. He had his own company and formula, and right around this period, he's really heavily involved in concrete housing projects further north. So it stands to reason he would have used that to add the pool here as well. Now it goes from a depth of about 4 feet deep down on this end to about 7.5 feet here.
Oh, I recognize that. It's so beautiful, Dr. Buckingham. I will take a picture for you. À, có một cơn hóa đang đẹp ở đây. Chuối. Wow. Many kinds of plants and South Africa. Flowers. Wow.
I'm so happy.
don't have the Reliance today. But at any rate, that's kind of the legacy of the dock here on the property. Now, our next stop, we'll be heading up onto the porch of the main home. Before we head over there, are there any questions, comments, anything thus far?
Stop here for a moment. Don't rush.
It's a river, so it's recently.
Wow, so nice. Beautiful scenery with two man. Drink. Oh, it's nice here.
It's nice there, bro. And
You
can
want to
people
go?
swim there, bro? Here? Yeah.
No, but in the river, yeah.
Because the river is cold, right? Although this is
Kitchen on the first floor, and then some kitchen staff quarters upstairs. And then for the rest of the kind of main part of the home, there's a first floor library, there is a living room, on the other side there's a little bathroom and a small office space, and then upstairs there's 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and then a sitting room, kind of like another living room area. Well, Edison's typically visited every year. Now, all of the furnishings inside are original to the Edison family, except for the light bulbs, which are replicas, and then also pretty much anything made out of paper, so books, paintings, pictures, anything like that. They just wouldn't have held up terribly well, so they've been stored, and we have some of those on display in the museum today. Now, I should mention Edison's friend, Mr. Ezra Gilliland, with the guest home. I just know that she remained in Fort Myers, later paying for McGregor Boulevard.
Yeah, it's a historic site, so you can't.
Do you want to see your face, Newton?
Huh?
Do you want to see your face right now? It's funny. It has some kind of
Also worth noting the light fixtures we have from the ceilings. Those are original as well. They were manufactured by Bergman and Company.
cơ bản là nguyên bản thôi nhá, trừ sạch các kiểu ra thì họ sẽ quyền thì được, rồi quyền không. Cơ bản thì nguyên bản, nó trang trí ban đầu.
We actually sell them in our garden.
And action. No, esta era más de. Me acuerdo de esas películas de.
De las clásicas,
Que gastaban de la revolución, de la guerra civil.
Now, as I mentioned, the main bedroom, which used to be the kitchen, it's kind of separate from the rest of the house. It is connected, though. The reason for that was when it was the kitchen, the idea was when the kitchen, you're cooking meals, it's going to generate a lot of heat. And in theory, by keeping it separate and having a breezeway in between, it would dissipate a lot of that heat from the main living area and would help to keep.
Okay.
We have the sitting room here, which is where the family would entertain guests. The piano in there is Mina Edison's 1932 George Steck piano. We also have in the back, there's a desk that has a board game of Parcheesi. It's Edison's favorite board game. He liked to play that with his children. According to his youngest daughter, Madeline, she said he really was competitive, and if he started to lose the game. This house was actually not originally built by or for Henry Ford. It was actually built in 1911 by a wealthy businessman from New York named Robert Smith. Robert Smith, he
Super nice. Wow.
He would write to Henry Ford, asked if he would be interested in purchasing the home, since it was well established at that point that Edison and Ford had become good friends. This friendship really began in 1914 when Ford was invited to the Edison estate in Fort Myers. They actually left to go on a camping trip at Big Cypress National Park, just outside of the Everglades. Camping trip actually didn't go that well. Both the families were pretty miserable and had a horrible time. They actually finished the camping trip in Edison's yard. Better on the other side of the house in the kind of backyard facing the river. But he added a guest bedroom, an additional porch with bedrooms for his housekeeper and his secretary who walked to travel with him. And then in 1925, he adds a one-car garage and be our last stop. Passes away. Ford really doesn't see much of a point coming here anymore. Main reason for visiting was Thomas Edison. He lived on. He visited just 3 more times. The last being in 1940. 1940, he was actually renting the home. It wasn't until 1997 that it's joined together with the Edison estate next door. But 2006, nonprofit takes over management, and that's how we have the Ford estate as it exists.
This is Ford home, his friend home.
But at that point in time, Ford company really needed to move on to the new design. It's kind of growing outdated and obsolete. Henry Ford really didn't want to, though. He's kind of attached to the Model T. He's ultimately only convinced by his only child with his wife Clara, which is his son Edsel Ford. And he convinces him to move on with the Model A, which is what we have there in hand.
Model A.
Oh, I'm sorry.
How you cover it is up to you. Now notice, you could drive this car.
Wow.
You could drive it. Come on, show me.
Something that I always found very interesting about the Model T is it's not really controlled the way that a lot of cars are today. I mean, basics are the same with like the steering wheel, for instance, but it actually has 3 pedals, none of which are a gas pedal. It has a
Well, it came through.
Yeah, so then it didn't ring.
So I'll see you again. Okay, thank you. You're welcome.
This original building and the additions to it are now being used as a lovely historic shop.
Please step inside the Ford Cottage shop. Relax with a cool beverage and view.
Dâm bụt, còn có dâm bụt. Kitchen, phòng bếp của nhà bàn. Wow. Okay. Đấy là phần đối diện. Wow, the first telephone.
Three.
Wow.
But the bank robbers.
Dr. Buckingham, Dr. Buckingham, can you tell me something about this?
Yes, well, this is the first V8. It is the largest engine and the fastest car of its time.
Wow.
So, all the gangsters own them. The gangsters. Gangsters. You know gangsters?
I know.
Yes. And like alcohol. And then the bank robbers, the very famous bank robbers, he kept writing letters to Mr. Ford. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Ford.
you, Mr. Ford,
We love
for
this
helping
car.
us.
Yes. When we go to steal a car, we make sure we steal this one because it's the fastest one. So we can outrun the police because the police could not afford the big
Wow,
engine.
really.
Dillinger would write him letters all the time. Famous.
Okay.
You look like my great grandfather.
My truck is old too.
The same truck I know.
Sika, can someone get a picture of it?
Okay.
Đây là những cái sáng tạo của ông Thomas Edison. Wow. Bóng đèn nhé. Nam chấm. Giỏi thật rất là căng thẳng áp lực về đây đang phải. I am working day and night on the electric light. Right idea. Mad. So wow. Okay. Really. He's so great inventor of all time.
Have water you can buy, some in the gift shop. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Oh.
But it's the music is on cylinders, and so you can put money in.
My God.
Most of them are 100 years old, but you need to ensure that so,
Wow. Oh my God. my god. Ông đi giỏi quá, kinh khủng. Oh my goodness. I am always afraid of things that work the first time. When I made my first recording on the phonograph, something in it.
Barefoot on the summer grass, moonlight pours like liquid glass. No band plays, just crickets hum, but our bodies find the drum. Your hands trace my shadow's curve, silver moves we don't deserve. Streetlights blinking time with us, turning dust to gold.